Welcome to Basketball Intuition. I'm your host, Ethan Simon. Today we're going to be talking about day one of the NBA playoffs. I'm really excited for today's episode. This is actually how I started doing YouTube, doing recaps and stuff like this. And I haven't done this in probably like a year, so I'm really excited for this video. I think I want to start with the Nuggets and the Clippers game, and we're going to kind of dive into each one of these games. As long as I remember, I'm going to put some timestamps up on the screen, so if you're just here to hear me talk about your favorite team, you can go ahead and just skip to that if you're a Lakers, Pacers, Bucks fan, whatever. And yeah, let's get right into Nuggets, Clippers. I want to start with the winner's side of things. Let's talk about the Nuggets first. I was extremely impressed with the Nuggets game one. The Clippers came out and got a big lead. It was like a 15-point lead, something like that, and it really seemed like the Clippers were going to run away with this game. Harden went on a huge run by himself and scored like 13 straight points in the first quarter. It was really fun. It was nice to see Harden in full playoff effect. And defensively, in the second half especially, I thought the Nuggets did a really great job. I was really impressed with their defense. I wasn't expecting them to come out and play great defense, but that's something that we knew that the Nuggets were going to need to do to win the series or win any games throughout the series. Aaron Gordon also had a huge game. I was not expecting him to come out with like 30 points in the very first game of the series, but he did that and they needed it desperately. The first half, the Nuggets were really struggling offensively. Jokic was getting it going, Aaron Gordon was getting it going, but nobody else really could get some great shots and was really producing well. I thought Christian Brown had a good first quarter. He really had a great game in general. Jamal Murray really struggled in the first half, but he definitely turned it up in the second half and they needed him to. And it was just like I talked about in the preview when I did about this series, I was talking about how big Jamal Murray was going to be in clutch situations because James Harden and Kawhi Leonard are on the other side of him. And we know that when we get into clutch situations with the Nuggets, they're looking for Jamal Murray to produce big for them, and he did that. He came up huge in this game. But Russell Westbrook was the reason that they were able to win this game. I'm standing up with my homie Landon. We're watching this game. I see Westbrook wide open in the corner. I say, don't pass him that ball. I'm like, just don't pass him that ball. Jokic passed him the ball in the corner and he laced the shot. And then Westbrook came up with the biggest defensive play of the entire game. Clippers are going to inbounds the ball. There's like 10 seconds left and Westbrook pokes the ball away and it gives the Nuggets the possession. Westbrook had some bonehead plays at the end of the fourth quarter in overtime, but you live and die by Westbrook. It was like this. It was like this for Westbrook throughout the entire game, but he did what he needed to do to help them pull out this game, and they needed him badly today. And I was really interested going into the series of how they were going to use Westbrook, and the Nuggets were really running like an 8-man rotation. So Westbrook played big minutes today. I thought defensively he was really important for them. He didn't do anything incredible defensively, but he was a very good option, a lot of energy as we know. And then back to the surrounding guys like Aaron Gordon and MPJ, Christian Brown. As long as one of those guys can give you a really good game throughout the series, like if Michael Porter Jr. comes out next game and gives you 25, you're going to feel great. I don't really think that's going to happen seeing what he just did in game one. But as long as Aaron Gordon or Michael Porter Jr. are giving you production as well as Jokic and Jamal Murray, the Nuggets are going to feel pretty good offensively throughout the series. And I was really impressed with the Nuggets in the second half offensively because the Clippers defense was just so solid throughout this game. They were switching most things because that's just what the Clippers do. They can switch like everything. I thought the way that the Clippers handled Jokic in the fourth quarter and overtime especially was really great. In the first half and third quarter, they were kind of just letting Jokic do his thing. He was getting to his spots. But in the fourth quarter, they really honed in and making sure that Jokic was not going to beat them in this fourth quarter. And in fourth quarter and overtime, I think Jokic only had like 3 points. They were making sure that he wasn't getting the ball on the block, and whenever he was trying to get inside position, they weren't letting him get the ball. Also, shout out to Chris Dunn. I thought he had a really good defensive game. Kawhi Leonard was really steady throughout the first quarter, but he didn't do a whole lot in the second half. He only shot 5 times in the second half of the game. I was a little disappointed about that. I thought that they could have used Kawhi more in those situations, but they were going to James Harden, and James Harden had a really good game. Zubac also had a really great game. He played Jokic just exactly how I thought he was gonna. Like we discussed in my preview of the series, I said Zubac was gonna be like the biggest player for the Clippers throughout this series, defensively especially, and he showed you exactly why. I thought he played incredible defense on Jokic throughout the entire night. He made Jokic work for every single bucket that he got. Both teams were getting up in transition. It was just a really fun game, and I had a really great time. For the rest of this series, some of the things that I'm looking at especially is, of course, going to be Kawhi Leonard. I think he'll probably have a bigger game 2 than he did game 1. And then I'm going to continue to keep a close eye on Christian Brown because he did a really great job in this game. He came up really big when they needed him. He had some huge shots. The Clippers really needed some bench guys to step up. Nicholas Batum was the only guy off the bench that really gave them good production. Bogdanovich didn't really do anything offensively, and that was kind of just the thing. Like, the Clippers are just so well-rounded on the defensive side, but off the bench offensively, they don't really have many options. But yeah, I was really happy with James Harden and Zubac's performance. I thought they did a really great job. Kawhi, I was disappointed in the second half, like I mentioned, but yeah, that's what I thought about the Clippers and Nuggets game. So let's go ahead get on to the next game, and I think this is going to be where we talk about the Timberwolves and the Lakers. And this is kind of weird to say, but I thought the Lakers did a better job than what the score looked like. There were some really small things that the Lakers did that I really liked. They were switching most everything on the perimeter, and it seemed like they were trying to get them to drive to the inside. But what the Timberwolves did throughout this game so well, and it's really the reason that they were able to win this game. The thing that really stood out to me the most, and it was the drive and kick for the Timberwolves throughout this game. It was king for the Timberwolves. There were so many possessions and three-point shots that the Timberwolves were able to create from driving to the inside and kicking it back out. And for the Timberwolves to continue to do this throughout the series, Julius Randle is going to be huge. Just being able to penetrate to the inside, get it back on the inside, and just put pressure on the interior defense of the Lakers. Luka had a really big game. There was moments throughout this game where I felt like he should have had the ball in his hands more. There was a couple possessions throughout the second quarter where I was like, why is Luka not touching the ball? And it was wild. The Timberwolves were going on this huge run in the second quarter. Jackson Hayes was pretty unplayable throughout this game. He only played 8 minutes, 0 for 2. LeBron didn't really do anything crazy. He had a really nice chase down block, and that was really fun. He had a good defensive game. But offensively, he was 1 for 5 from 3. He could have made some shots that he didn't make. Offensively, the Lakers got nothing out of anybody that's name was not LeBron James, Luka Doncic, or Austin Reeves. There was not a single player on the team other than those three that had over 10 points. Rui Hachimura had 9 points with 3 threes. Other than that, nobody else had over 5 points. The Lakers are gonna need to find ways to shoot the 3 ball better than what they did today. I wouldn't say that the Lakers rely on the 3 ball, but it definitely is needed for the Lakers offense. They shot 15 for 41 from 3, 36%. But this is where we're gonna bridge over to the Timberwolves side, and the Timberwolves shot 50%. 21 for 42 from 3. Naz Reid had a huge game. Anthony Edwards had a big game from 3. He was 8 for 22 from the field. But the Timberwolves had a really great game, and this isn't to take anything away from the Timberwolves because, like I said, they played a really great game offensively and defensively. Their defense was just swallowing up the Lakers at points. Jaden McDaniels was hounding folks. Nickeil Alexander-Walker was out there hounding folks. Like, they played really good defense. But you kind of can live with this loss for the Lakers because there's not going to be that many games throughout the series where the Timberwolves are going to shoot 50% from 3 as a team. I mean, they were just automatic. And that's also due to the Lakers defense giving them easy looks on the perimeter. Timberwolves also got up in transition. They had 25 fast break points to the Lakers 6. That was a really big part about this game. And really, the Timberwolves dominated every part about this game. They were getting to the paint. They were shooting threes, 50%, like I said. They had 43 bench points compared to the Lakers 13. The Timberwolves turned the ball over less. They got more points off of turnovers. The Timberwolves just did an incredible job throughout this game. But like I said, I think the Lakers can live with this loss. But the Timberwolves definitely showed you that they are not to be messed with. And they don't care that you have Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and LeBron James, that they are a better overall team. They play better team defense, and they have better individual defenders. I'm really interested to see what JJ Redick is going to do defensively for the Lakers because, like I said, the Timberwolves were just getting such easy 3-point shots, and most of them were just like completely wide open, and that's really why the Timberwolves were able to shoot 50%. For the Timberwolves, you feel great with this win because you got really great looks, you play great team defense. But yeah, like I said, I'm really interested to see how the Lakers are going to bounce back from this and see how they handle it. But yeah, the Timberwolves definitely shut some people up saying that, hey, we don't care that you're the 3 seed. Like I said, we don't care you got LeBron, Luka Doncic. We are a better team, and they showed you that in game 1. If the Timberwolves are able to get Jaden McDaniels playing like that, or really not even just playing like that, he was 11 for 13. I don't think he's going to play like that throughout the whole series. He had 25 points. We don't expect him to get 25, but if he can just give you a cool 15 plus every single game, the Timberwolves are going to feel very confident offensively. And then, like I said, Julius Randle is going to be a really big part about this series, getting to the inside and finishing. He was 4 for 6 from 3. He got really good looks. But yeah, I think game 2, we're definitely going to see the Lakers trying to take away some of those 3-point looks because, like I said, like I keep saying, the Timberwolves were just getting open threes, and that's why they were able to shoot 50%. Let's go ahead and get to the next game. This is the game that you know, if you've watched the channel before, that I'm most passionate about, my Milwaukee Bucks. My Bucks got absolutely handled by the Indiana Pacers, and I'm kind of happy about it, if I'm being for real. When I made my video previewing the series, the Bucks fans were killing me in the comments just because they were like, yeah, Bucks in 5, Bucks in 6, Bucks in 4, obviously. They were just so confident that the Bucks were going to come out and just dominate because they're like, Kevin Porter Jr. is playing good. Giannis is going to be in 2018 LeBron. The Pacers did not let Giannis pass the ball. They turned Giannis Antetokounmpo into a score exclusively tonight. Another big thing about this game that we had already talked about in a previous video is that if the Pacers are able to play their style of basketball and they can get up in transition, that they're going to handle the series very easily. The Bucks had 5 fast break points and the Pacers had 22. The Pacers half-court offense was much better. The Bucks offense was so stagnant, and that's really credit to the Pacers defense. Like I said, they did a really great job shutting down passing lanes. And another big part about why the Pacers were able to win this game is because the Bucks shot so terribly from 3. They were 9 for 37, 24%. Out of the 9 makes, AJ Green had 5 of them. If we take those out, the Bucks shot like 4 for 26. Just absolutely disgusting. Brook Lopez did nothing offensively. Kevin Porter Jr., Bobby Portis did nothing offensively. Kyle Kuzma was 0 for 5. He had 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 points, 0 blocks. He had the same amount of statistics as Chris Middleton did today. Doc Rivers spoke about this. He said it's because we were not giving him the ball. I'm not sure what you want those looks to look like when you're giving Kyle Kuzma the ball. I don't know if you want him to have ISO situations or if you want him on catch and shoot stuff. Me personally, I don't want to see Kyle Kuzma in any ISO situations, but the Bucks don't really have any other options offensively other than Giannis. So they might need Kyle Kuzma to come out and give him 20 next game, but realistically, that's not going to happen. Gary Trent had a solid game. If he had some more threes, it would have been nice, but he was hitting those step back middies for a couple minutes. Taurean Prince wasn't on nothing. The Bucks starting unit absolutely sucks, and we've seen that throughout the last 3 weeks especially. We've seen the Bucks play good, but the starters have been really bad, and the bench has really been the reason that the Bucks were able to win games. Kevin Porter Jr., Gary Trent coming off the bench, AJ Green coming off the bench, and then you got the guys in the starting unit, Taurean Prince, Ryan Rollins, Kyle Kuzma. They're not doing anything offensively. So watch the channel before, you know how I feel about Doc Rivers. I don't like Doc Rivers at all. I never have liked Doc Rivers. I don't think he's a great coach. And as I was watching this game, I was just like, we had like a week to prepare for this game, and this is how you come out. This is how you respond game 1. Like, it was terrible. The Pacers just played a great game, and I'm not trying to take anything away from the Pacers saying that the Bucks played really bad, because they did, but the reason that they played so bad was because the Pacers played great defense all night. Andrew Nembhard, Aaron Nesmith had a huge defensive game. Pascal Siakam had 25. He had a really great game. He was getting to his spots, getting easy buckets. Miles Turner might have been the most impactful player throughout this game. He had 4 blocks, 19 points, 4 for 6 from 3. He had a huge game. Tyrese Halliburton really struggled. He was 0 for 7 from 3, and this is what I'm going to say about Tyrese Halliburton for this series. If Pascal Siakam, Miles Turner, Andrew Nembhard can play like that, if they can keep giving you good minutes and keep giving you good production on the offensive side, all Tyrese Halliburton needs to do is just be a freaking point guard. If he can take care of the ball, not put up dumb shots, keep setting up his teammates like he's done for the last couple years, then the Pacers are going to feel really good that they're going to win the series pretty easily. Obviously, I don't know what's going to happen, but if I had to predict, I think the Pacers will probably take game 2, and then Dame will come back for game 3, Bucks will take game 3, and then we'll see what happens game 4. That's going to be the deciding factor of the series. Benedict Mathurin wasn't really on nothing. I said he was my playoff X factor for them. He was 2 for 7. He was getting to the free throw line, 8 for 8. He had a good game. It wasn't anything spectacular, but he definitely had a good game. The Bucks defense was absolutely horrendous. The Pacers arena was just bumping with all yellow. Like, it was a good game for Pacers fans, that is. And they switched it up with Giannis throughout this game. I thought it was really interesting how they dealt with Giannis. They came out first and they just had Miles Turner guarding him one-on-one, and they were just letting him go to work for the first couple possessions, and he was just putting his head down and going into Miles Turner. And then throughout the game, we saw him cover Giannis differently throughout the game. We saw Aaron Nesmith go on him at points. They were letting him go one-on-one, and then later in this game, they were sending bodies at him. I can't even explain to you exactly how the Pacers did what they did, but just know that the Pacers played a really, really great game, and they played an incredible defensive game. The Bucks are going to need Kevin Porter Jr. in game 2, and they're going to need Bobby Portis, so that's going to really be the X factor for the Bucks. The Bucks defense isn't going to be great. We know that, so their offense is going to need to make up for it. So the Bucks offense is going to need to come out and do something different. But like I mentioned earlier, I'm not even upset that the Bucks lost this game. It was a wake-up call for the other Bucks fans that were watching and that were thinking that they were going to wipe up the Pacers. The Pacers are not a team to play with. There's a reason that they were a higher seed than the Bucks. They have more wins, more home wins. Like, there is a reason for that. They are a better team. And the refs were even on the Bucks side throughout like the entire game, and it didn't help at all. And now to the last game that I wanted to talk about. This is the game that we're going to talk the least about probably. It's going to be the Pistons and the Knicks game. This was kind of like my bridge game. It's not because I didn't want to watch this game. It's not because I didn't think it was an interesting game. It was a very good game. It was just, you got to understand, there's 4 games. At that point, it's 6 o'clock. I had just been locked in for until 6 o'clock watching the Bucks game, watching the Clippers game, and then I knew that I was going to have to watch the Timberwolves and Lakers game, so I kind of gave myself a little bit of rest for this game and just kind of watched back and enjoyed it. Both teams were getting up in transition. The Knicks got up in transition a lot in the fourth quarter especially, and that's really why they were able to pull out this game. OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges was just harassing Cade Cunningham throughout the entire night. Cade had a really bad first half and stepped it up better in the second half. Malik Beasley had a good game. He was getting to his spots, hitting his shots. But this is the part that we weren't expecting, and that this game was the Tobias Harris versus OG Anunoby game. And I'm not even upset about it, especially in the first half. It was just those two going back and forth, it felt like at times. And it was kind of fun. If I had to predict anything for this series, me personally, I think Karl-Anthony Towns is going to continue to have a really big series. We're not going to see him putting up 30 points every night, and he didn't even put up no crazy numbers tonight. He had a really solid game, 23 points, 10 for 14. But with the looks that they were giving him and the defenders that they were putting on him, I just don't know how you stop him. Asar Thompson isn't big and strong enough to stop Cat. Tobias Harris is the same thing. But if the Pistons keep guarding Cat like that, I think he can definitely have a really big series. I think for the Knicks, obviously, kind of throughout this whole playoff run, he's really going to be their X factor. If Cat can play good, solid defense and be a great option offensively, the Knicks are going to feel really good. And another thing for the Knicks is you didn't really play a great first half, and Jalen Brunson was really struggling in the first half. But the thing about this game is, the thing about the playoffs is a win is a win. You got the game, you won the game, you dominated in the fourth quarter. It felt like you went on a huge run. You showed why you are the better team in the series. Shout out to Josh Hart as well. He had a really nice game, 13, 7, and 6. And another thing for the New York Knicks that I'm really looking for and something I'm really keeping my eye on, and that's Mitchell Robinson. He only played 18 minutes, but he had 6 points, 6 rebounds, 3 of them offensive, 2 blocks, a steal. I think that depending on matchups and who they play in future rounds, if they're able to come out of this series, he's just going to be huge. Being able to play him next to Karl-Anthony Towns in different situations is going to be really nice. Playing Cat at the 4, depending on who they match up with. If they were to go against the Cleveland Cavaliers at any point, they're going to need those two to play together. But yeah, shout out Cam Payne again, and the Knicks were able to get it done. Miles McBride wasn't on nothing, but like I said, for the New York Knicks, you won the game, you got it done. The Pistons, you're able to take some nice things away. Tim Hardaway Jr. was being aggressive. If he's able to be aggressive throughout this whole playoff series, the Pistons are going to feel better. Asar Thompson had some bonehead moments. There were a couple turnovers that he had where I was like, wow, that was really unnecessary and that didn't need to happen. But that was his first playoff game, so I'm not tripping about it or anything. But Cade Cunningham is going to need to play better. 21 points, 12 assists, 6 rebounds, 6 turnovers. Like I said, he was just getting harassed all night, so it's going to be interesting to see how he bounces back from this. I don't think that the Pistons are just out of this series, of course, but the Knicks are definitely the favorite to win this series. And them coming out winning game 1 is definitely a big thing. I saw Pistons fans talking about how they were almost excited for this matchup because they said Madison Square Garden is Cade Cunningham's favorite place to play. If we're being realistic, it doesn't matter where you like to play or where you don't like to play. You're going to need to play good. I don't care that it's his favorite arena to play in. He's going to need to perform. It's tough. It's just tough. The Pistons got a really tough matchup with the Knicks in the first round. If I had to predict anything, personally, I'd say probably Knicks in 5. Maybe Knicks in 6. Pistons might be able to take 2, but I'm not really sure. Yeah, like I said, I don't really have too much to say about this game, and I'm sorry, Knicks and Pistons fans, that I don't have a whole lot to talk about. But like I said, this was my bridge game, and it was kind of just like enjoy the game, kick back, and watch. Every game that we had, we were able to take something away from. I thought every game that we had, even the Pacers and Bucks game, that was an absolute blowout. We were able to take some things away from it, and it was still a good game. Huge shout out to the Clippers and Nuggets. That's going to just be such a fun series. Game 1 was just a perfect example of what's to come. And yeah, that's really all I had to talk about for these games. I don't think I'm gonna make a big video about all the games today, being Sunday. And yeah, happy Easter to everybody that celebrates. He is risen indeed. Yeah, I probably won't do a video like this for today's slate, but I definitely want to make a video about the Warriors and Rockets game, so y'all will probably see that video tomorrow. I know a lot of people that watch this video probably aren't gonna see it until after game 2, but that's just like how YouTube works. They don't really push my stuff out like as soon as it comes out, and I don't have like a giant following, so not a whole lot of people are gonna see it until YouTube pushes it out, so it could be a couple days, I don't know. But yeah, let's get to the last segment of the day, being the comment of the day. If this is your first video that you've been at the channel, the last segment of every video is my favorite comment from the previous video. It can be a question, topic, statement, literally anything, whatever. My favorite comment is the comment of the day. We don't have many options to pick from the comment of the day, but we do have one from JJ Too Nice. Shout out to you. Petition for those playoff watch parties you mentioned mention at the end of the video, like one a week would be fun. This is what I'm saying. That would be so much fun. Like when I was watching these games yesterday, like I had to call up my homie and be like, yo, can you come watch these games with me? Because like I'm kind of bored just sitting here watching 12 hours of ball all day by myself. So if y'all want to do watch parties, I would absolutely love to do that. We can just get on live stream. I will set up a live stream. I'll put the play-by-play up there, everything I can that I won't get taken down for. And if y'all got a phone and a TV, y'all can have me up on the phone and have the game up on the TV, and we could just watch the game and react together and just have a good time. Bounce thoughts and ideas off of each other of what we think of the games and stuff. And that's just something I'd love to do to connect with y'all. Like I said in previous videos, community is the biggest part about YouTube for me personally. So being able to have that extra time to connect with y'all would be really fun. So if y'all want to do watch parties, I would absolutely love to do that. If this video does well, or if someone comments below and then, you know, a bunch of people like the comment, then we'll definitely get it going. Or if a couple people comment about it, we'll definitely get it going. But I would absolutely love to do that. I feel like that would just be a lot of fun. And yeah, shout out JJ again. I really appreciate you, my brother. And yeah, I don't really have anything else for today's video. If you enjoyed it, I haven't done a video like this in a while. So like I said, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like, subscribe, comment, post notifications if that's what kind of guy you are. You don't have to do any of that if you don't like. It's, you know, free will, whatever you want to do. But yeah, I really appreciate you staying to the end of the video. Shout out to the folks who just got me this jersey. It was great timing because Westbrook just had such a huge game for the Nuggets. And yeah, I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. Peace out.